Thanks, Clinton, and good evening, everyone. The AFL's newest dual Brownlow medalist, Adam Goodes, is determined to put last night's win behind him and concentrate on becoming a dual premiership player. Just 15 hours after his victory, Goodes was back on the training track, preparing for another head-to-head battle with West Coast Eagles superstar Chris Judd.
Adam Goodes is so preoccupied with Saturday's grand final, he forgot to bring his Brownlow medal to his only media commitment for the day.
It's actually in my pocket in the locker room, so hopefully none of the boys find out where it is, because I'm yet to put it in the safe upstairs.
While he might sound blasé, Goodes understands the enormity of being crowned the league's fairest and best player for the second time, only the 8th player in history to do so. And he received a hero's reception at the SCG as the players did light running work.
It's one of those things maybe on Mad Monday or when I'm on holidays that I'll sit back and think, wow, that's quite an achievement. But at this stage, it doesn't really mean much to me at all. Just the fact that I've got to go out here at 2 o'clock and train and get ready for the big one.
There's no greater challenge for Goodes to apply himself to than a match-up with Chris Judd, who finished 3rd behind Goodes and Bulldogs veteran Scott West.
I think it'd be a great match-up. I think Chris Judd's going to get touches no matter who you put on him. Their midfield is, we can't really concentrate on Chris Judd. I think we have to worry about 5 or 6 guys in there, and it's going to be a big job for our midfield to task those guys.
Goodes polled 3 best on grounds in the last 4 rounds, and coach Paul Roos says his best footy is still ahead of him.
He's 26, and I still think he's going to improve. He's only been a midfielder really for 2 years, so he's still learning his craft.
Former South Melbourne great Bob Skilton is the only other Swan to have taken Charlie home more than once. Goodes says Skilton is both a mentor and an inspiration.
Bobby Skilton calls up, and it's not after every good game, it's just a great game where the Swans and the Bloods have played really well. He'll just call up and leave a nice message, which is great, because I have a lot of respect for Bobby and his achievements and the respect he does have as a South Melbourne player.
Sometimes when a guy does something that you feel is is great for he or his club, you give him a call and say well done, and if that has helped Adam, then I feel proud.
Meanwhile, the West Coast Eagles have their main training session tomorrow, and it'll be all eyes on David Wirrapunda. Last year's All-Australian defender will face a tough fitness test to convince the coach he's overcome a hamstring injury and is fit to force his way into the Eagles' grand final side.
The West Coast Eagles trained behind closed doors yesterday, and David Wirrapunda passed his first test.
He's moving well, and he's a massive chance to play this week, and I think he's just got to get through Wednesday's training.
Thousands of fans will pack Subiaco Oval for tomorrow's main training session, which now takes on even more importance for players on the fringe. It will also be a welcome relief for stars trying to keep their mind off the match.
My mind will probably be elsewhere. I'm about halfway through the 3rd quarter at the minute, so I'll be doing my utmost to not be thinking about this week's game.
So with today, the Eagles' last day off before the big match, the challenge was on.
DVDs get a workout this week, and you start finding yourself reading books which mightn't even interest you, but they certainly serve a purpose in weeks like this.
The benefits of keeping distracted is only one lesson West Coast players learned from last year. Before then, only Drew Banfield had tasted grand final action. This time around, 2/3 of the side will have been there before.
I think they're a better side this year. And I think we are too. So I think both sides were definitely better for the experience last year, and I guess just that sense of the unknown is gone.
Judd's deputy Andrew Embley missed the qualifying final loss to Sydney a fortnight ago. He says that night their pressure and tackling wasn't up to scratch.
You need to do those things well to win games, and we've done that in the last couple of weeks, so that's what's going to win us the game.
Last weekend's preliminary finals side included 6 players who didn't take on the Swans last September. Tough defender Beau Waters was one of them after missing the entire season with a serious groin injury.
It's like Christmas for a little kid, so it's pretty exciting. Obviously missing out last year's been a big fire in my belly, and just looking forward to going out there and having a great game.
West Coast fly to Melbourne on Thursday, and on Friday afternoon train on the MCG.
The AFL has announced the 3 men that will umpire Saturday's big day at the MCG. 2006 All-Australian umpire Brett Allen will officiate in his 7th grand final and 5th in a row. Darren Goldspink will umpire his 6th, while Michael Vozzo will make his grand final debut.
I guess I've been fortunate to be pretty consistent over the last 5 years, and certainly appreciate the fact that they keep selecting me, and you know, it's fantastic to be involved in another one again.
It's always a great feeling to walk out on the ground before a grand final. You know, the crowd's all waiting in anticipation to see what happens, and it's a bit of a, you know, there's a lot of entertainment and that sort of thing. It's great to take in, but we've still got a job to do, and we need to make sure that we do it properly.
It's actually my 8th year, so it's been 8 years in the waiting, and I actually sat on the bench last year in the grand final, and I sort of got a bit of a grounding on what I'm to expect and all that. So and I'm obviously umpiring with 2 of the all-time greats, and I'm looking forward to it, and obviously they're there to help me, and I'm sure we'll do a good job.